Hello, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. I'm going to do a little video for you today. I think you're going to find it real interesting. It's a conversation I had with a woman that was at the 2010 oil show parties that Angie was at where the young girl was murdered. She was confirming what I was told already. So now that's two witnesses along with all the other evidence, the Google Maps and the multiple people saying underground homes are here, etc. Here I'm going to start. It was a Facebook post, and I did YouTube comment of the day. And basically, I take comments from YouTube and I copy and paste them over to Facebook for discussion. And I got this one yesterday. This guy named Gopher said, "Hi, buddy. I'm wondering if you ever followed up or have any more information from the persons who had grown up there in Midland and claimed to have found or explored the underground complexes when they were kids." His comments, one gave me the idea of, about this or whatever, that I remember this Facebook post. I said, "I don't remember exactly what you're talking about since I've documented so many different people talking about tunnels in Midland. It's been a lot of them. But most all of the information that I've gotten has been posted online. I recently spoke with a woman that told me she went to the oil show parties for many years, and she confirmed what my friend Angie told me about them drugging the women there. She was 16 and at the 2010 oil show parties where that young girl was murdered, and told me they would prefer us younger girls than the older women." I think that's what I'll name this video. I provided screenshots of this conversation to Lieutenant Gray with the Midland Sheriff Department last week. I gave him this, and I didn't block her name out. I did for the public because these are dangerous criminals. These sex traffickers are dangerous. I have reason to believe they're involved in multiple murders, and that's what I told Lieutenant Gray, when I was there last week, that they are. And obviously we have significant police corruption problem here, and there's no doubt about that. Okay, so here's a little short conversation, and here's my friend, our online friend that contacted me. She says, "Yes, I follow you and I believe you. I had been taken from there. I was a former escort, and I went to almost every oil show in the Midland, Odessa from 2008 to 2019 till I was taken in November. I got away. That was the second time. The first was unsuccessful because of my sister, thank God. She was kidnapped and raped, and that's another story." Okay. My friend Angie was leaving my home and at the parties in 2010, and we talked on the phone while she drove there, so I knew they were 5 minutes from my home. This was before I found out there was an underground home in the backyard. She was the one that told me about the young girl that got murdered that year. Remember, in 2013, the remains of a 14 to 21-year-old girl was found out of Midland, and I think that was the girl. Yes, I believe it. I was 16, 17 at the time, and they would prefer us younger girls other than older women as well." And then she says, "Yes, it's crazy." And I think that's well known. They don't go advertise, new grandma hooker in town. It's the younger ones, the 14-year-olds ones. That's the ones that these pimps want. At 11 p.m. each night, Angie would put me on hold and go get her pill. That is how I knew they were drugging the women there. It would make her groggy, and then she would fall asleep, and then she'd be woken up. It was going on to all the women happening every night. She says, "Yes, it's true." So she was confirming exactly what Angie had told me. After she told me about the young girl that didn't wake up, I told her that we needed to go report this murder to the police, but she was scared and said that high-level police were there. I just couldn't imagine it at the time, but it's real clear now. I can't seem to find any good police. Remember, there was 11 police caught on camera in my house. It took 6 years and a $2,000 reward to get them identified. And then, the 7 years before I got the police report that proved that police were under my home on the night somebody under my home shot me. We have a police corruption problem. Yes, they are all corrupt. I even reported one of them for harassment, and nothing ever happened. I was always stalked by them. And see, I don't believe they're all corrupt. I believe we have good police out there. We have a management problem for one, and I think they're telling the good police to sit down and shut up. There's a lot of money to be made in this sex trafficking. In 2019, I found evidence showing that police were under my home on the night I was ambushed and shot with my phone lines cut by somebody under my home. This ex-wife told me that a lot of people were here, so I believe some kind of party was going on underground that night. A party in the backyard, in the underground home in the backyard. Okay, so I gave that to I provided this to the to Lieutenant Gray at the Midland Sheriff's Department last week, like I said, and I just pray that he's not dirty and also taking this money, you know, to traffic these girls or whatever, you know, and cover up these murders. You know, there's so much evidence that it's to the point of absurdity. Of course, some underground homes are here, and you know, I gave them a map. You know, I mean, how much more proof you need? I recorded a guy running for sheriff saying they were here. Okay, here's some of the comments. I put a link to the recent video I made on missing Caitlin Dennison, Crime Stoppers. Young girl from Reno meets a guy from Midland, flies to Midland, never seen again. Okay. And I think it just, you know, it goes without saying that the underground homes are the most, are a great place to look for any kind of missing girl, especially this one. And there's a story about it, about Reno in that video that you ought to watch that. That's an amazing video. Here's my second comment. This is the secret underground home where I believe the 2010 oil show parties were held and where the young girl was murdered at, which Angie had told me about. I suspected that she was closer than 14 than 21 based on what that second witness told me. She was at those parties when she was 16, and she said the men preferred the younger girls. Okay, and so what I did, I took two pictures side by side. Okay, here on the left was the Google Maps, and basically a woman had called me one time. You know, I got all these people documented saying underground homes are here. Okay, and she said, go look at your home on Google Maps. So I did, and when you looked on the map screen, that's the black and white screen here, you would see a large bunker in the backyard. This is my home here, and in the backyard right here, you'd see a large bunker on the map screen, but you wouldn't see it on this satellite screen. If you drove by, looked above ground, you wouldn't see it. I believe that's one of the 4 underground homes that I was talking about. 3-bedroom, 4 underground homes buried at least 25 foot deep, each costing $1 million a piece, called safe houses. All kinds of details about them. Multiple people documented saying they're here. That's where it's believed these oil show parties were going on, where the young girl was murdered at. And here's the Crime Stoppers, okay? And this goes to Midland because she was found in the county, and that's why I'm contacting Lieutenant Gray. This is his deal right here. You know, he's supposed to be investigating this. And so they recently did a DNA and found that it was a black female, 14 to 21 years old. She was found August 2013, and it was in October 2010 when Angie told me about told me about the young girl murdered at the oil show party. And then, like I said, here it was a year and a half later, then the remains of an unidentified girl were found, and it was a homicide. And like I said, I suspect she was closer to 14 than she was to 21 based on all this other evidence. And so you want to solve this, then you expose that, right? I mean, it doesn't take a genius. You don't have to be a genius to figure that out. And then the last comment on this short video is this witness that was at the 2010 oil show party when she was 16 confirmed what Angie told me about them drugging them, and also confirmed what this other woman told me on a recorded phone call. She had said these underground homes were at least 25 foot deep, and they were having pedophile parties down there. Okay, I'm gonna let you listen just a clip out of this right here.
About the pizza parties. They said they're not called pizza parties, but I know what you're talking about.
Right, the pedophile parties.
Yes.
And see, a couple of weeks, you probably read all this before, but a couple of weeks after I got out of the hospital, that ex-wife comes by my home, and she says, you don't know how many lives you ruined with your idiocy. And of course, my idiocy was staying home and minding my own business. You know, I was shot inside my home. And but what she was saying was a lot of people were here, and they're going to have their lives ruined. And
do you know how many feet that gun pushed through?
That
ground it was, because he said that these houses are 25 feet under, at least 25 exactly.
Okay, and so I just wanted to go over them, several pieces of evidence. And then the new thing right here, is this witness we have that was at the oil show parties that Angie was at, says I was 16 to 17, and they preferred us younger girls. We have to somewhere find good police. As I said, I'm a lifetime supporter of police, and we need good police officers to stand up, expose these underground homes, stop the rape and murder of these little girls. This is Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.